Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm really excited you're here today. It's going to be a fun one. And I'm going to be talking all things self-tanner from the drugstore. So if this is something you've been thinking of trying, stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly and this is the Diva Den, and I like to talk all things home related, but today it's a little different. I'm going to go into the beauty category a little bit and talk about some of my tips and tricks and some of my favorite drugstore self-tanners. I recently have been complimented by my sister, my mom, my daughter on my tan, and I had to admit to them. I said it's fake. It's fake. I have been using a self tanner. So they wanted to know all about it. So I thought if they wanted to know, then I must be on to a good product, and I'm going to share that one with you at the end. But if you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe. It costs nothing to subscribe, but I'd love it if you subscribed and would join me each week. I try to post weekly videos on Wednesday. And if you like this video, think about giving it a thumbs up and maybe even sharing it with other girlfriends, family members who might be thinking of trying a self-tan. So let's get into the video. Now, I have to admit, I'm still relatively new to the self-tan phase, and I just cannot bring myself to pull the trigger on some of the more expensive self-tanners. I really have only ever tried drugstore self-tanners. There is one higher end I am curious about. I'm sure you've all heard of it, and it's the Loving Tan. I'm really curious to try it, but I just can't bring myself to pay that kind of money. But the drugstore products have come a long way in the last few years. When I first started trying to self-tan, I quickly gave up because either the product smelled horrible, or I felt like I looked orange, I felt like it looked fake, so I gave up. So I've gone back to it a little bit, and I've learned some things along the way that have helped my tan look a little more natural. So one of the things I always thought was a real gimmick was having to exfoliate your skin. I thought, I do a pretty good job with, cleansing my skin, exfoliating. I thought if I shave my legs, that would matter as exfoliation. But no, exfoliation is really key to achieving a really nice tan. And over the years, I've tried it. It doesn't really matter what exfoliators you use, just as long as it sloughs off that dead skin and all the other products on your skin. So I've this year I'm using 2 products, and I'm really enjoying them. So the first one is this one by Palmer's. See if it'll focus in on for you. And it is actually a facial scrub exfoliant. But I figure if it's good for my face, it's going to be just as good for my body. So I've been using this primarily on my body. I have a different one that I use on my face once a week. But I have used this on my face, and it's great. What I love about this one is it's got bigger granules, and it smells really nice. It smells like coconut, and I love that. And yeah, it works really well. So it's just the Palmer's Facial Scrub Exfoliant. Now the next one that I have really been enjoying is from Bath & Body Works, and it's this coconut one. See if it'll focus for you. But it is the Coconut Milk Body Scrub. Holy crow. This stuff is beautiful. It smells like coconut, and I love that smell in the summer. It just brings you back to the beach. It smells so good. And the granules, I can't say that word. Oh my gosh. I can't say that word. Granules in it are finer than the one on the on the Palmer one, but it spreads like a dream. Like you don't need very much, and it goes a long way. And it really scrubs your body. My arms have never smelled smoother. I love it, and you just feel so nice after you use it. So I've been loving this one from Bath and Body Works, the Coconut Milk Body Scrub. Now, you don't have to use a commercial body scrub. This is something I learned the hard way a couple of years ago. I had done my self-tan. I thought I was looking pretty good. And I was driving. I had my hands on the steering wheel, and I looked at them, and ooh, in between my fingers, it was orange. It looked terrible. I was embarrassed. Like when, I forget where I was going, but I kept trying to hide my hands because I was so embarrassed. So I couldn't wait to get home. But what I used was a combination of baking soda and lemon juice. And you make it into a paste, and I scrubbed, and it removed, it removed my self-tanner and exfoliated my skin. And right in between, like it didn't take much, and it was just washing it off. So you don't have to necessarily buy an expensive exfoliator. You probably have the ingredients in your kitchen. I've heard that, brown sugar and honey or something else. You go on Pinterest, there's all kinds of recipes for body scrubs. But yeah, if you don't have one in your house, don't feel like you have to buy it. There's a money-saving tip. Go to your kitchen. You probably have the ingredients to make a great exfoliator. Now, the next tip took me a long time to jump on the bandwagon because I thought it was a gimmick. I thought it was another thing that the beauty industry wanted us to buy, and I just wasn't getting it. But I bit the bullet this year because they have so many now, and they're not that expensive. But it is a self-tanning mitt. Now this one is from the Saint-Tropez line. Just because I had a different one, and I think I ripped through the top or something, so I needed a new one. So I was at the drugstore getting some other products, including a self-tanner that I'd been dying to try, and I saw this. I think it was $7, $8, and I picked myself up another one. But I always thought it was a gimmick. No, they are fantastic. I have to admit, they're fantastic. Once you put a squeegee of your self-tanner on here, you can really mold it onto your body and get everywhere, and it really helps disperse a nice even layer of self-tanner. So I really encourage you, if you haven't got one, is to invest in one of these. Now, the other thing I've heard is latex gloves that you get at the drugstore, but not the ones with powder in them, but they're just gloves, and they would probably work really well. I'm interested in trying that as well, because you can get a whole big box for not very much money. But don't use your hands. I made the mistake of doing that for years. And I would put some in my hands, rub it together like a lotion and put it on, and I got splotches everywhere. Not to mention my hands, I think, got more tanned than the rest of me, and that wasn't a good look. So I do encourage you to look at investing in a mitt. They're not that expensive at all. Okay, now the fun part. Let's move into self-tanners, and some that I have used for years, and they're okay, but there's one I found this year that I am loving. So of course we all know Jergens, the Jergens one, the cream one. It's okay. This is the one I had used for years. It's okay. What I really don't like about it is the smell. It smells like self-tanner. Yeah, it's very, very strong, very, very perfumey. I find if I have to use it, I feel like everybody knows I've self-tanned. I feel like everyone around me can smell it, and they know I have a self-tanner on. And they probably do, and they're being polite by not saying anything. But That's the one thing I really don't like about this product is the smell. Other than that, it's not bad. If you're anything like me, come the summertime, once our winters are gone, I'm like Casper the ghost. I am so pale, it's crazy. That's why I self-tan, because it's just not a good look. Nobody needs to see that. My legs are so white, it's gross. And but the thing I found with the Jergens, I always went to like the fair to medium because I thought that meant my skin type, but it actually means what type of tan you're going to get. And with the fair to medium, even on my skin type, I felt it was too orange. When I switched to the medium to dark, that's when I felt I got a nicer looking tan. It still stunk, but the tan itself looked better. So I encourage you, even though you might be fair-skinned like myself, don't shy away from the darker shades. I'm shocked I even have this one that's fair to medium. I probably have been using it a little bit on my face. I don't know. I usually buy the medium to dark. So this tells me one of two things. I bought the wrong one, or I bought this because they were sold out of the other one, or I need to throw this out because it's old. Now the other Jergens one that I love it way more than the cream, is their foam. I don't have it, I have run out, and when I was at the drugstore the other day, they had it, but they also had a bottle of the one I was dying to try. But the Jergens foaming one, you know, the one it's in the brown bottle, love that one. It doesn't smell as much as the cream one. It still has a slight self-tan smell, but I love the color that it gives me. So that is a good one if you're looking for one, is the Jergens foaming self-tanner. So this next one is a little more difficult to find nowadays, and I forget who I saw use this. It was another YouTuber and it was months ago, but I ended up ordering it online. I couldn't find it at any store, so I ended up ordering it online because I wanted to try it. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was less than $10 on Amazon. I'll try to leave links below for some of these products if you're interested in them. But it's this one, this Palmer's coconut formula, and this is actually a body lotion with a self-tanner, Gradual self-tanner in it. And this is really, really nice. Now it's a body lotion and a Gradual self-tanner all built into one. So the smell is really quite nice. Some of the other Palmer products I've tried have had a really funky smell, but I have to say this one has a little bit of a coconutty smell. Still has a little bit of a self-tanner, but if you're looking for something that will give you a gradual tan over the course of 3 or 4 days so that you don't go from being Casper to looking like you sat out in the sun for 3 weeks all within an hour, then this is a good one for you. And it's a gradual tan, so you can build it up to whatever consistency you want or whatever darkness you want. And I like that. And it's a lotion. Which brings me to another point with what I do with some of these other self-tanners. This one included, definitely with the Jergens. Sometimes what I do to either extend my self-tanner or make it look like I'm not trying too hard with the self-tanner, I will take, on my mitt, I'll take some of my body lotion and some of my self-tanner, mix it together, and then apply it onto my skin. And I get that kind of gradual buildup of the self-tan, so I don't go from one extreme to the other. So if you're looking for something like that, that's a good tip, is cut in your self-tanner into your body lotion, and you get the best of both worlds. Now these next two products are from L'Oreal, and this first one I bought was kind of by accident because the second one I'm going to show you, this is what I thought it was, but it is like this Sublime serum, self-tanning serum. And I thought I was getting more of a tanning solution. This one is good. I just found it went a little, almost too orangey on me. So I really cut this one into my body lotion. And what I've actually been using it for is for my face. With my moisturizer, I will take some of my moisturizer and I will put a pump or two of this in my moisturizer and apply that to my face. And I'm finding that gives me a nice glow on my face. It's not a very big bottle, as you can see, and I didn't like the consistency trying to put it on my body. I just felt like I was constantly pumping, trying to add more to cover my whole, like all my arms and my legs and my chest and stuff. So I just felt like it wasn't really worth it, and the smell wasn't too bad. The smell is okay, it's not that bad, but for this one I would suggest adding it to a lotion, a few pumps, and that'll give you a nicer color. Now for the one that I have found that's becoming my favorite this year. But before we go any further, I'd love to know in the comments below, do you have a favorite self-tanner from the drugstore? I know there's all those high-end ones, the Saint-Tropez, the Loving Tan, the Vita Libertea, I think it is. I know there's all those high-end ones, but what about the drugstore? Do you self-tan? And if so, what do you use? I'd love to know in the comments, because I'm always looking for a really good product to use. So here's the one that I had been reading about and was dying to get my hands on. And again, it's from L'Oreal, and it's their Sublime Bronze Coconut Water with Vitamin E Self Tanner. So it comes out on your mitt like a white foam, and it just looks like water. And it says coconut water with vitamin E. I like that. It smells so good. Smells so good. But the tan I get, that's the one I was using when my sister and my mom commented on my tan. So it's working really, really well. I'm loving this one. I even love the way my skin feels after I've put it on. It is so soft. It's crazy. I don't know if you can tell, I'm pretty pale anyways, and maybe the lighting on the camera can't show you, but it really gives a nice tan. I am whiter than this in real life. This is one application of my self-tan, and it says that it does a gradual tan over the course of 4 to 8 hours. So when you first put it on, you kind of look at it and go, well, that didn't do anything, and it's water. You're thinking, how is that going to work? But it's over the course of a few hours, it develops, and it develops into this beautiful tan. I love it. It's probably my new favorite drugstore one, and it's not that pricey. It's about $17, which is a bit pricey for a self-tanner, but it's not that bad. Now the other thing I love about this, there's no transfer onto my clothes. There's no transfer onto my sheets at night. This one from Jergens, oh my God, my sheets, like even after a day, like if I put it on in the morning and I slept at night, my sheets, you could see self-tanner. My clothes, you know, would have the look of self-tanner on them. This one, there's no transfer. I love that. No transfer at all. And the smell, can't say enough good things about this. Well, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed these tips and some of my favorite products from the drugstore for self-tanning, and I hope you give them a try. Let me know in the comments below if you have any tips and tricks for your self-tanning methods. Do you even self-tan? I have to, because I look like Casper if I don't. So I have to self-tan, but I'd love to know if you have any tips and tricks and what kind of products you like to use. But that's it for me. So until next time, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And I hope you have a fabulous week. Bye!
I've been waiting for this, yeah. It's been up on my mind, though it's hard to resist.